I wanted to do some very short video today about Matrix. Actually, two Matrix. Do you remember this movie, Matrix? It happens that most of the people really live in this kind of matrix. Actually, they live in the more matrix. The first matrix is this system that we're living in, this all what is happening around us and how the world function. Most of the people don't see that it's matrix. That's the way they still vote for the presidents and elect politicians and officials and this kind of people, which are then screwing them for 4 or 5 years. Then they choosing some people from the other side, hoping that they will help them or do something for them, but it never happens. What's interesting that the system is going on for a long time, and those politicians are elected every 4 or 5 years or whatever is the length in some particular country, but it never works, isn't it? And it goes on for a long time, and most of the people cannot wake up from this matrix, and they can't see that they are ruled basically by mafia, which is wearing suits and talking very eloquently and pretending and telling them basically lies. Politicians actually are telling you truth if you put everything upside down. What they're telling you, what they don't do, that's exactly what they do, all the way around. So they can tell you truth if you can listen to them. But what I was trying to say, that people live in this matrix and they cannot wake up from it. Some people wake up from it and see how it really works, and they know that it's a setup. But most of the people don't. It is possible to wake up from this matrix, and some people do. But there is another matrix that probably even less people know that there is one. In this first matrix, there is a fight going on. This fight is about material things, about your survival, food, and what you want to buy, and where you want to go, and what you want to do with your life in general. Those physical things. But there is another fight which is happening, and this fight is not in the physical. This fight is about your future. It's about your soul, basically, and your future as well. And this fight and this matrix, it is possible to see it from outside if you escape from it. It is possible to escape from it, and everybody can do it. But I was on the other side, so I know how it is. It is not possible to see that and to understand that. So it is not possible as well for me to pass this information for you and make you understand it the same way I do understand it. It is not possible, because if it would be possible, that would be shortcut. Why it would be shortcut? Because to be able to understand it, you need to do some work. And when someone tells you something and you say, okay, so I know now, that's not work, isn't it? This one works a little bit different. What's this work about? I tell you a little bit about this work, and we will come back to this first part. This work, when we are born and we grow up, in everybody's life happens that they do something which is wrong, and they know that it is wrong. In most cases, it is people explain it somehow. Someone done something wrong to me, I've done something to someone, or someone was, something happened, and that's the way I've done this. There are always explanations, but still it doesn't change the fact that it's wrong, and people think that they have a right to hurt someone else when they got hurt by someone. Well, it's not true. They don't have right to hurt another human being. They're breaking the law. Because of breaking this law, like it's a different law than the normal one. Because of breaking this law, maybe not because of breaking this law, but when this happens and they live with this realization that they've done something wrong. Sometimes they do something wrong, like one big wrong. Sometimes it takes over a time or even over a year, some small things. It happened different ways, and everybody's got their own story, isn't it, at the end of the day. But when people live with this, with knowing about this, everybody has to develop something which is called ignorance. Ignorance is taking out from the equation things that's supposed to be in this equation. You know what I mean? Because everybody has to go through this road, so everybody know what I'm talking about, isn't it? And when this ignorance is developed, basically you cannot know, you cannot tune to this understanding. So that's the way. If you are a believer or you are unbeliever, it doesn't matter actually in which camp you are, you won't know what I'm talking about. And I know that, and I accept it, because I'm not selling anything, isn't it? Like I told you, saying, I'm just passing the information. This information is for people which are already searching, like I was searching, and they're already looking for this, trying to put those puzzles together and see what is behind this, and they have interest in those things. That's for those people. If they don't know something, they can hear that here, because that's basically how it works. So this work of this self-correction needs to be done. There's always something in the past that happened that didn't have to happen. That was my decision that it happened, and it was a wrong thing. And it is needed to realize it and to see that and to analyze why it did happen, what was the reason, and one needs basically to face it, to face this thing. And it's not very pleasant thing, but it is necessary, because when you basically face yourself, you will see the reason that things were done, or behaviors, wrong behaviors, or anything which harms another being, isn't it? You will see why those things happen, and when you see why those things happen, you will see as well what's the solution for it, and if you want, you can implement this solution for this thing, work on this thing and fix it if it's possible. So when this desire in you will develop, you will start analyzing yourself and fixing things. And when this desire will become the most important thing that you do, that's where you can escape the matrix. And you can see it from outside. From outside it looks completely different than from inside of the matrix. From the inside it doesn't look at all, because you can't see it, can you? But it is a matrix, and it's possible to escape it. And I always want to bring this quote, that is the most difficult thing to do for human, and the best achievement the same way, because you're escaping all the matrix that can exist, and you know who you are as well, and you know everybody else as well who you are, and you can really see things how they are, so nobody can deceive you anymore. Nobody can you can see what is wrong, what they're doing wrong, and what it causes, and because you pass this thing with yourself already, isn't it? And you analyze those things, so you know what's the reasons, what's causing this. The reason, by the way, is ego and properties of ego. Things like hatred, anger, jealousy, all those negative things. It's a real battle going on right now. Actually, it's a private battle for each of us. One in this matrix, because it seems like this matrix is coming to an end very shortly as well. I've got at least this impression. I don't know that, but it looks like not long time trouble will start. But this matrix is when when you escape from the other matrix, this real one, this, how you call it, spiritual one, about your soul. This first one doesn't matter anymore, because at the end of the day, I don't put my hand into it. I didn't sign up or vote for it, or I didn't. That's not my place. I mean, it might be my place, but how it works, it's not my decision. I was just put here, so I observe it, watch it. I don't get involved in it. That's the way. If trouble starts, really, because it looks like there's a mobilization of different, militaries and things like that. It's another joke right now. If things like that. But I won't be talking about this. We were talking about honesty and matrix. If somebody is searching, is watching this video and has some specific questions, I can answer them too. Leave the comment. One love.